What's up guys, it's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity build a video. Today we're going to be doing a video on how many points you can earn with the milestone assignments versus the streak assignments. So before this week, actually took off, a bunch of you guys were asking me about what the ballpark, area number would be. And I predicted that it would be somewhere between 170,000 to about 200,000, give or take. Obviously, it's going to be, fluctuating around that ballpark because you don't have those streak assignments anymore, giving you that 8,000 bonus. Now, the high-level players, their ballpark number was right around 220,000 on average. Okay, it doesn't mean that you can't score, more. It just means that on average, that was what you would score. Okay, if you did everything correct. So, why is it that we're only 20,000 points short of that and we've lost the streak assignments? I'm going to explain why that occurs. We're going to go through some of these choices here. We're not going to go super in depth, but we're going to flip through them and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about, okay? So, when you have 60 assignments times a 2K average, that's 120,000 points, right? Okay. Then you have the 15 tickets, which adds 30,000 points if you run your steady 2K average. That's 150,000 points in total. Then you have the the milestone assignments, which you're getting as you're kind of earning whatever it is you're doing down below in the main list. It'll determine based on, if you get stuck with a bunch of blueprint assignments or submit design challenge assignments that you can't, do 3 of or whatever, whether or not you can actually finish all of your milestone assignments. But in general, you are going to get some of these bonus points up above, whether you finish all 7 of the milestone assignments or not. You're still going to get something, right? So 150,000 is the ballpark number for a 2K average for your main assignments and then your 15 tickets. So somewhere in there, you're going to earn right around 50,000 points on the milestone assignments, on average. Assuming that you did most of them, okay? And assuming that you're a high-level player. The reason that you're not falling too short because of the streak assignments, because a lot of people are super bent that the streaks are gone. If you guys don't remember, y'all were super bent when they got here. You guys were just floored that they were even here because they made everything a nightmare. They made everything so much harder. So I think it's just going to take some getting used to. I know that, a lot of the milestone assignments are BS, and they do need to fix those ones. But in general, what you guys have to remember is that each streak had 4 assignments. Then you got an 8,000 bonus. So as long as you made it through the streaks, you were already earning your 2K average, right? So whatever assignment you got in the streaks was basically just an addition to your 2K average. But the problem is the streaks assignments were part of the assignments that you were already doing, okay? Whereas the milestone ones are not. Those ones you're getting anyways. So when you think about it, most of the streak assignments weren't worth very much points. If you can run a steady 2K average with all 60 assignments, you're going to average just a little short of what you would with the streaks if you finish the milestone assignments, right? So it's really not going to cause too much of a problem. Now, this person is a high-level player. They usually do pretty well when it comes to making choices. They do make some mistakes here and there. Who doesn't? But he quit playing for a while. He's back. And we're just going to kind of flip through and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. So he's a high-level player. He's going to start with the upgrade war card. It's quick. It's worth the most points. He's going to get that done. Okay, so he does the upgrade war card. Then he does the delivery to Tokyo. Okay. Now he's got the earn coins and the earn leaf simoleons, so he's obviously going to go with the earn leaf simoleons. Then he gets VU. So he does VU on that same door. Then he gets Cactus for 3,000, which he does. Then it turns into a non-premium 1600 Paris. So he switches doors back to his main door with the keys. Then he gets limestone for 2,000, which obviously he's going to do that. I don't know why I'm seeing a picture. Oh, okay. Upgrade work hard. Green Valley. Cactus. Waves. So here's obviously a good doorway, right? I mean, we're doing main task, main task, main task. Then we've got produce and collect on a main task. It gets covered up by his increased storage, which he does. Then he gets another main task for London. So he located his good doorway pretty much right away, right? VU for 2,000. Now, here is where he makes a mistake. He has premiums down below that he should have rotated. Now, I'm assuming that since it was only 80 points short and it was his good doorway, he didn't want to break that cycle. So it wasn't necessarily the biggest mistake, but there is a reason why we do put those point thresholds. So he does the grass, right? Gets the limestone, gets his keys back for 2,000, then Latin America. Now here he gets a launch war attack. Now here's where I certainly would have changed doorways, because even though it is giving him good assignments, he can come back to that door. He knows which door is his good doorway. He needs to open up the premiums down below. That way he can have more possibilities, because if you haven't noticed, he keeps getting the same tasks that he was already getting, looping back around, like the war card and the regionals and things like that. So he needs to get that Omega rotated in, his other regional upgrade down below rotated in, and he keeps points shaving here. So he does that one. There you go. Now he gets another one below 2,000 points for popcorn. So now he decides to rotate one of his premiums, but he does Sunny, not Omega, which is a mistake because Omega obviously has a higher algorithm and a better chance of coming in with more points. Now he gets a textiles for 2320. So he could have done the textiles if he wanted to, because of the fact that there is no streaks anymore. He technically could do that. He has more than enough time to finish the contest of mayors. He could have stopped and done the textiles. It would only have been a couple of hours for him. He's a high-level player. So technically the right choice here would have been to do the textiles. Okay, he went with the Omega. So if you guys don't recall, if we would have had streaks around, it would not have been the right call, because he would have just increased his chances of that coming back within the streaks. It would have slowed him down during his active war, and he would have had to pick up all the electrical that he had prepped. So see how the streaks kind of change the way you're going to choose your assignments? Here he's got 4 days, 23 hours, no streaks. He's already got 22 assignments done. He can afford a 4-hour damn downtime, right? Okay, so does his Omega. Now he gets a premium waves, which he does. Then it gets covered up with the keys for 1,200. So he goes to the tables for 1920. Should have done the textiles. Then he goes to popcorn for 1920. Then he goes and does tape measures for 1,800. So we're dropping, you know what I mean, below the average, which he's still running a good average because of all the 3K tasks that he's had. He hasn't had many tasks below 2,000 points so far. Now he gets the nails, bringing his average up just a little bit again. Now he stops and does the textile. Well, he doesn't really stop. He probably had prepped them at some point. Storage for 3,000. Okay. Now he's got the cement, minerals, neo-simoleons. What else here? So the Paris doorway, that was one of his good doorways that got covered up early on. I would have probably went back to that one, honestly, just because these other ones haven't been very good to him lately. He went with cement. Okay. Double check something. 3,000. Well, that one would have been 3,000. Yeah, he switched doors, so all right. So he must have done cement because it was 80 points more, I'm assuming. I don't know. Anyway, he does the cement. Gets smoothies. Then he gets VU for 2,000. assuming another, yeah, one war card upgrade, VU for 3,000, Cactus, Omega. Then it comes in for 1,400, so he switches to the Paris. Common War Attack. What is he doing? Okay, launch VU. And he gets wood, so he switches to the minerals. War card upgrade. Launch VU. Leaf Simoleons. Upgrade Omega. Launch VU. Launch VU again, I guess. Okay, so here he gets Leaf Simoleons for 1,500. So it is a premium. However, it just came in for 1,500, right? I don't know what his current situation is with how he's completing this assignment, if he had already opened up the regional HQ, if he's bulldozing stuff to do it. I don't know. But let's look at what he's got down below here. Yeah, so what he should have done is he should have done the glass, okay? Depending, like I said, how he's completing the regional HQ. I believe this player bulldozes stuff. So that means that he was not restricted to his regional timer, which means that he could have taken the downtime. I mean, he's at 4 days, 4 hours. Look how quick he's moving. So for those of you guys who automatically assume somebody's hacked just because they move quickly, they're not. All right? They're not always hacked. Sometimes they're just good. So here, he should have taken the downtime. The 5 hours of downtime. He went with the Earned Leaf, I believe, right? What is he doing? Why are we getting screenshots? Oh, he's completing milestone assignments, I see. So, export HQ row. Claimed that. So you guys, one tip for you guys is that if you're doing the export HQ rows, or not those, if you're doing the milestone assignments, a rule of thumb that I would try to play by is to collect only when you need to keep your average at a steady 2,000 points. And don't collect when you are, significantly above a 2K average, okay? Because that ultimately is going to be what changes the algorithm, the algorithm of your assignments and how and what assignments you get. Not how, but what assignments you get. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. So people are asking me, do the milestone assignments affect the lower list? There's 2 ways it can affect the lower list, so you have to specify what you're talking about. One, are you talking about the points that you're collecting from the milestone assignment, or are you talking about the specific assignment in which you have just completed? Because people are under the impression that if they complete an assignment up above and they collect, let's say, 200 points or something, they're immediately looking at what assignment they get after that. What changes after they rotate an assignment in the main list immediately after doing that. That is not a fair assessment because the list is not the same. You just changed the equation of what you were doing by completing an assignment down below. I do not believe that completing the milestone assignments above is changing the way that you are getting the assignments down below in terms of the assignments specifically. But if you're talking in terms of points, hey, I did a ton of milestone assignments. I got a ton of extra points, stacked up over my average. And now all of a sudden I'm getting garbage. Then yes, I believe that could happen. So you should definitely keep track of your points and make sure that you're not going too far above the average. Otherwise, the game will start giving you trash. Okay, give me just 1 sec, you guys. Okay, let's see. So, you guys, again, if the milestone assignments are being collected when you start getting the third, see how this one's at its 3rd tier and it's at 2,500 points? Once you start cycling them in, you'll notice that the 3rd tier on certain ones are 5,000 points or whatever. Those ones, you guys can wait till the end to collect. If you've already got it done and you're still cycling through, then, obviously you may need to collect some of them. But what you can do is you can save some last minute points, and this will make the the last few minutes of the contest to mayor's a lot more interesting because you know people are going to do that. They're going to save those last minute points to jump up over your score and try to get the win. Okay, so make sure that if you have somebody who's only adding points when you add points, that you do that. That way you can get the win. If you're running low on assignments, every time you add points, they add points, you're going to need to do some shady things like that to get to win. I mean, it's still a legitimate win. You know, it's their fault for not using as many tickets or assignments as you did, right? Because they're just trying to be cheesy, cheap-ass mofos and not devote as many, assignments. So, do that if you need to. So, he got that, and he did what did he do? Cargo. Now, here, I don't agree with what he's doing. I'm going to tell you guys why. Because it's a joke and it's a ripoff, and he's going to spend a lot more cash doing it this way than he would if he just played properly. So, here's the thing. Let's look at his list super quick. All right. There's no cargo on his list that I see. Let me double check. Yeah, I don't see a cargo. Here he's doing cargo when he has assignments down below that still need done. I mean, he still has 12 assignments plus tickets. That's 30 assignments where he could easily get cargo and need to do it at some point, right? That's 70 cash right there just to do that assignment, that milestone assignment. This player spent over 1,000 Sims cash doing milestone assignments this week. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You guys, I'm telling you, most players don't know what they're doing for starters. You're already going to be dominating the leaderboard using this technique as it is. It's probably not going to be a requirement for you to get all of these milestones done just to make the win. Unless you are somewhere in the 80 and 90 leaderboards. If you're up there, then yeah, you already know you're going to have to give it your all. But if you're somewhere down in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, odds are your leaderboards are full of idiots anyways, right? They're just full of slackers, people who don't play. Probably the second place person has significantly less points than you 90% of the time. Why are you bankrupting yourself any more than you need to achieve the same end result, right? If you're going to win anyway, regardless of doing these assignments, why are you doing them and bankrupting yourself? So what I would do, like I told you guys before, pay attention to the milestone assignments, of course, okay? Work on your main list and collect the points on the milestone assignments kind of as you go, but calculate up your average, and I'll show you how to do that for those of you who don't know when we're done with this, okay? Calculate up your average and keep it at a 2K average, all right? If you go over 2K by, 2, 3, 4, 500 points, it's not going to make or break you. When you start noticing a difference is when you go like a couple thousand over your average, okay? Like 3,000 average is what I'm trying to say. 4,000 average. You'll start to notice a difference because there's like people who collect the streaks assignments way back when. They would go significantly over their average. They'd still get some halfway decent tasks, but you'd start to notice a slight decline in their assignments. It just kind of depends on, what their week was like, what choices they were making already, and all that good stuff. If you're not making the correct choices as it is, then you cannot, how do I explain this? You cannot predict what the outcome should have been, if it was a right or wrong outcome, if anything was affected by it because your choices weren't correct. If your choices are not correct, then your list is going to do all kinds of wacky things. You milkshake your list is what I call it. You put in too many variables to the point where the game, you can no longer really predict what the game is going to do. You've jumped so many doorways and you've rotated in so many things to the equation that it's now an unpredictable list. It can pretty much do anything. And unless you can go back with screenshots and figure out where your good doorways were and try to regain the control over those couple good doorways, then everything's just going to go haywire, okay? And in that case, usually it's those types of players who are saying, oh, well, I'm getting garbage. Why am I getting garbage? It must be because of the milestone assignment. No, it's probably because you screwed up. Honestly, it probably is. You're either in reverse rotation, the game just doesn't like you this week anyways, or you screwed up. Am I saying that's the case every time? No, I'm not. But 99% of the time, yes. That is usually what happens, okay? So he goes and he does these milestone assignments. Like right here, he does the export HQ rows. Why isn't he doing the leaf simoleons if he's doing that one anyways? I don't understand what he's doing. Maybe it's on a different regional HQ. Maybe that one's closed. Maybe he's waiting for the glass to be done. I don't know, but it just seemed a little weird to me. So now he does cargo. Okay, let's see. What did he do? Leaf simoleons, shovels, Omega, London delivery, VU, Sunny, increased storage for 3,000, does that one again, Omega. Now here's where he makes a mistake. Even though this is a good doorway, he's 3 tasks, 15 tickets remaining, okay? He's pretty much at the point where you're going to switch over to value over op anyways. We know that unless the glass gives us a good assignment, then we're going to go right back to this doorway anyways. So really, I mean, let's say he did glass and he got main task. He would have basically gotten more points. He would have never had to take that drop. But because he took that drop sooner, you see what I'm saying? It could end up just screwing him over. Doesn't mean it will, it just means it could. Which, the whole idea here is to take the route that has the less likely chance of screwing you over. So he does the blue textiles. He gets a 2,000 earned cactus, 3,000 upgrade cactus. Now here we get another non-premium, which he does the glass, okay, like he was supposed to. Now he's on to his tickets. Now he gets the war card delivery on the glass doorway, Tokyo delivery, 2,000, storage upgrade again, war card upgrade, limestone for 3,000, sunny for 2,000. All right, so here he gets the gnomes. So the, what is that? The string was also a good doorway. So he goes back to the string like he was supposed to. More deliveries for 2,500. Textiles for 2,200. Export HQ row for 3,000. City storage for 3,000. Some people were asking if that assignment still has a high algorithm. It does. Okay, so now he gets oil for 1,500. Export HQs for 3,000. 1,590 on wood. Latin for 2,400. Now he's done with his tickets. Now he has his remaining milestone assignments. So he's got the war deliveries for 33 war deliveries. Now that one I think is an absolute joke. It really is. For low-level players, not a big deal. But for high-level players, it's a joke. It's going to bankrupt your ass. Now, luckily this player, plays war anyway. But for those of you who don't play war, yeah, that sucks. It really sucks. Is it worth getting a whopping 5,000 points? Honestly, no. Not if you're already going to win anyway, probably, Odds are you're probably in a leaderboard that it's not going to make or break you. I wouldn't bankrupt yourself if you are in a leaderboard that has, no competition. If you have a lot of competition and you've put a lot of work into this week, what's to stop you from going the extra mile and doing the damn 5,000 point 33 war delivery assignment? You might as well at that point, right? But if you don't need to, I wouldn't even mess with it. So he does that one. Now he ends up with the earned blueprints and the vote in design challenge. And that's it. So what do you end with? 204,950 points. So just short about 16,000 of what he would normally score on average. Sometimes he would only score 207,000. Usually the average was about 205 to 220,000 for a high-level player. So it's really not that much of a points drop, not like what people are thinking it's going to be. People are thinking it's going to be like a 80,000 points drop. That doesn't even make sense. Not calculate it up. That makes no sense. If you run a 2K average for 75 assignments, that's 150,000 points. Okay? Before, you had to what? You had to do 6 streaks, right? Times 4 assignments. Okay? So, what? 24 tasks in total had to go dedicated to the streaks. Most of the streak assignments were low-valued assignments anyways. A lot of times you would do the streak and fail an assignment in there and you wouldn't get the bonus points, right? Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you're somebody who always finished the streaks, and in that case, you got the 48,000 points from the bonus points and then whatever points you got from the assignments in itself. But when you look at running a steady 2K average for all assignments, not taking that points drop on the streak assignments that are, garbage, and add in the milestone, you're not going to lose as much as you think you're going to lose. Although I do think that SimCity needs to seriously adjust these milestone assignments. They need to remove the blueprint one entirely, okay? Because that's BS. They need to change the voting one, at least the algorithm on it, and the amount of times, right? Because that's just ridiculous. I get that they're trying to get more people to vote, but that's ridiculous. And the more deliveries is a bit extreme, I think. It really is. The airport deliveries, it really isn't that many when you play the contest of mayors through and through the whole way, right? It's really not, because you're going to do 11 deliveries at some point in your week, more than likely. It's just when you're seeing it all at once, you're like, oh my God, that's a ripoff. That's a joke. I'm not spending that cash. You've been spending that the whole damn time anyways. Go back. Look at your screenshots. Think back to all the times that you did a 3,000 point delivery assignment, and then another 2,000 point delivery assignment, and then another 3,000. Think about it. Okay, that was 8 of them right there. So you guys have been spending this and doing this anyways. It's just now it's kind of in your face going, hey, this is what you're doing. And you're like, wow, that's a lot of cash. Yeah, well, where did you guys think that your several $100 was going? I mean, think about it. If you start the week with 2,000 cash and you end with like, 1,300, you spent 700 cash. Where'd it go? What'd you spend money on? You don't spend it on more deliveries or more card upgrades. You're not spending it on production tasks, right? Or you shouldn't be. So the only thing that you would be spending cash on is regional HQs to bring in the next row, airport deliveries and cargo deliveries. That's really about the only thing you should be spending your cash on. So yeah, you guys have been doing this a while, spending that kind of cash. Just didn't notice. So how do you calculate up an average? For those of you guys who don't know how to calculate an average. Maybe you hate math, like I hate math too. Trust me, I don't blame you. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the total score that you've earned and divide it by the total number of assignments that you've completed. So let's say that you've done 60 assignments, okay? And you have a score of 120,000. So you're going to take 120,000 and you're going to divide it by 60. Okay? If you have a score of, let's say, 4,000 points, and you've done 2 assignments. You're going to divide 4,000 by 2. That's a 2K average. Because you did 2 assignments at 2,000 points. So you're cutting it in half, right? So again, take your total score earned divided by the number of assignments completed. He has 204,950 points divided by 75 assignments. That's his average. Good luck to you guys. Here, I'll show you one sec. Okay, I want to make sure you guys know. 204,950 points divided by, he did a total of 60 assignments in the main list, 15 tickets. That's 75 assignments. So his overall average was 2,732. So he ran a 2,700 average with his milestone assignments. That's not bad. It's really not. This player did spend quite a bit of cash this week, more than I would have spent to do it, but I think that it was probably achievable without spending quite as much cash if he would have done it, in a different way. Even if it wasn't, though, still, that's not a bad average. And it'll be interesting to see. Let me go back and look at his screenshot super quick. What level is he? He's 85. Yeah, look at his competition. Although, you have to remember that he finished super early. Okay? He finished with several days to spare. Now, he has a benefit by doing that, meaning that the other players probably won't even bother trying to beat him at this point. They're probably like, oh, he's hacked. Whatever. But you can't just stop being good because you're afraid of being punished for being too good. I can't believe SimCity is still actually pulling that crap and banning people who play legitimately. Not just me, several people. All right, you guys. Good luck.